Hey everybody, welcome back to JT Channel. Welcome to my picks and predictions for this weekend's Royal Rumble taking place in fucking Saudi Arabia. I think I swore in time. But I figured might as well get this out of the way. I'm home for the day. I had to take an extra day because of the winter storm hitting the southern states. If you're in the southern states, I certainly hope you are all right. Stay safe, stay warm, do whatever you got to do. That is why there was no MAW yesterday or a Saturday Night's Main Event review, because the storm hit and we were without power for about 30 hours. We even had to spend some time in the car, like 6 hours in the car, just to make sure we all stayed warm. So do whatever you got to do. If you're wondering about my Saturday Night's Main Event reaction, review, whatever, I did put a post out on the community explaining the winter storm and my short thoughts on Saturday Night's Main Event. But if you don't want to go find that, that's fine. I understand. I'm really happy for Rio. I'm really happy for Sami Zayn. I really liked Cody Rhodes' Jigga Fatu brawl. I loved how Drew McIntyre just came out, chucked everybody through tables. And I think AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura may have had an early match of the year candidate. It's one of the best TV matches I've seen in ages, and it was just perfect. It really was. So that's out of the way. Now we get to talk about the Royal Rumble, and you're immediately looking at me going, why the hell are Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez behind you? Well, that's because I'm recording this before Monday Night Raw, and I want to get this out of the way. I think this match will be announced tonight. I think that this was always the plan. I think that Stephanie's injury made them unsure, but she came out at Saturday Night's Main Event without the walking boot on, so I think she's 100%. They had a good little brawl. I would love to see this match on Saturday. As far as who my pick is, I would pick Raquel Rodriguez, and you guys should know this. If you're a fan of my content, if you watched my hot takes video from about a week ago, excuse me, maybe longer, but I said that what I wanted to happen was Raquel would be the champion so that we could do the Liv Morgan thing, which we'll talk about when we get to the Women's Rumble. But I just wanted to throw this in here. I hope this match happens. I'm predicting that it will be announced tonight. There'll be some sort of segment with the two of them, and Stephanie will be like, well, now that I'm at 100%, I'll see you at the Royal Rumble. I think they both speak Spanish, so I hope that WWE leans on that. I hope Stephanie yells at her in Spanish and she yells back in Spanish. I love that kind of stuff. I loved it when like Io and Asuka would do it. So that's obviously in Japanese, but you get my point. Just let them yell at each other in their native languages. It's always really cool to see and hear. Prediction-wise, I'm a little hesitant. I don't know if WWE has the cojones to strap up Raquel Rodriguez over such a hot babyface. Like, Stephanie Vaquer is easily I don't want to say she's the hottest babyface because there's always Cody, but she really is up there. She's up there with the fans. So I'm going to predict that that if this match does get announced, which I assume it will, excuse me, that Stephanie will retain. I don't think WWE wants to take the belt off her just yet, and they already did a brave kind of surprise with Drew McIntyre, so we'll see. I would like Raquel to win. Again, this match hasn't even been announced as of me recording this video. Hopefully it will be. This is, of course, when WWE won't add an extra match for once. They'll make it for like Raw next week or something. But either way, I hope that they take a chance and give Raquel the belt, and we'll talk about the Women's Rumble in just a hot minute. Sorry about the lighting change during the transition. It got weird. But up next, we are going to talk about, well, let's jump into the actual announced card. And we're going to jump right into AJ Styles versus Gunther with AJ's career on the line. And look, after Saturday Night's Main Event and after lots of speculation and conversation and the thing that Shinsuke released, apparently AJ told him sometime last year that he wants to retire at the Royal Rumble. He wants to do like the start at the Rumble, end at the Rumble, 10 straight years. He didn't say all that, but that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like AJ may be actually retiring on Saturday. And I have my issues with that. I think that if he retires, it should be literally anywhere on planet Earth other than fucking Saudi Arabia. Cat hair. I also think that it's up to him. You know, he may have decided last year, like I said, to retire at the Rumble. And then maybe he made that decision before WWE announced they were going to be in Saudi Arabia. And he's like, well, that's just that. I mean, he'll get paid a massive paycheck. But yeah, go look if you haven't seen it yet. Apparently, Shinsuke put out this big, long story, I don't know where, about him and AJ having a conversation. I don't want him to retire yet. Like, if you're going to ask me to pick, I'd pick AJ Styles because I was hoping we would get AJ for the majority of 2026, not just like, I'm retiring next year, boom, he's retiring. But he did have that match with Shinsuke, which, again, WWE could be working us, which is why my prediction is kind of in the air. I hate doing that. I really do. You guys know I like to nail down a prediction. But for this match, while it feels obvious, there's a part of me and there's a part of a lot of people who think that it feels too obvious. And while there are storylines out there where too obvious works, this, to me, it's not exactly the same. It's not exactly the whole, like, oh, do the obvious thing. It's more like they're pushing the envelope of, hey, AJ's going to retire so hard that maybe he actually won't. Now, I will say that it's hard nowadays to see a match that says win or retire and not assume the guy's going to retire. Back in the day, wrestlers would do that, and we'd go, oh, well, they're going to win. Triple H had about 50. If I lose this match, I'll retire matches, and he just never lost. Because that was part of the idea. It's like, oh, I might retire, but they never did. Nowadays, it's much different. People really do retire. Most retirements have been planned, scheduled, I suppose, like Sting, Tanahashi, John Cena, JDC, Johnny Curtis, the former Fandango, he just retired. The Great Muta, all of them had their retirement matches scheduled ahead of time. That's like, this is when I'm going to retire, point period, end of conversation. Bryan Danielson's retirement was hilarious. He got suffocated with a bag. And then there's Ric Flair, who had that retirement tour where if he lost the match, he had to leave. That's kind of why this is so interesting. You have all these retirements, and now we're all wondering what's going to happen next. My pick is AJ Styles. I don't know how you pull it off with his career on the line, because if Gunther is going to be the guy to retire AJ, then why would AJ wrestle him again? It's like, oh, well, remember that match I lost? Can we do it again and you put your career on the line for a second time? That doesn't really work. Like, that's a bad storyline. You could have a fun finish, like how Gunther kind of cheated and caught AJ off guard. Maybe AJ could catch Gunther off guard with like a roll-up or something. But then again, who retires AJ Styles? Again, you go back to my hot takes of 2025. I actually don't think Gunther should retire AJ Styles. And I know that's a hot take. Trust me. I put it out there on more than one occasion, and people are like, are you stupid? And I'm like, I might be. But I just feel like AJ could do with a different retirement. I don't want to say a better one. I don't want to say a bigger one. I don't want to insult Gunther. Gunther's one of the best pure wrestlers in the world, but especially in WWE. So again, I'm not against Gunther retiring AJ Styles. It's just not what I want personally. My prediction is that AJ Styles may very well be retiring. It'll be emotional. It's going to suck because AJ's retirement should be the main event as well. If AJ's really going to retire, you don't put that match 2 on the show. I mean, match 1, I guess, could make sense too. You can have the whole send-off and then move into the next. But I don't know. This one, as you can tell, I'm very conflicted on what WWE is going to do. I know, like, Ric Flair's, again, retirement, got to use quotes, was in the middle of the show because Ric Flair himself didn't want to take away from the other main events, the championship matches or whatever. But all the other retirements I mentioned, I didn't even mention Goldberg, all the rest of them were the main events. All the rest of them were the big matches on those shows. They closed the show. You had the big celebration. So you should do the same for AJ Styles. You shouldn't have him lose, in between the Rumbles, right? Because like John Cena said, we all move on anyway. And I am such a big AJ Styles fan that I'm going to be still kind of distraught. And I hate to keep like piling on here. What do you put after AJ Styles retires? Like, do you put the women's title match and we go back to the mid-2000s where the women's championship matches were buffers? Because people are into Stephanie Vaquero, Raquel Rodriguez, but you just watch AJ Styles retire. Same with the Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn match. While people about Saudi Arabia and they're going to be super into Sami Zayn, it's still going to be a drain to watch AJ retire and then go to that. And then there's the Rumbles. You don't want to take fan participation and interest away from the Royal Rumble matches. So WWE has to be really, really careful. If they come out and announce that this is the main event, then I feel like we're going to lean towards more AJ retiring. If it's not the main event, I don't know. It's they're going to have a hard time convincing me that it's a good idea to have AJ Styles retire in the middle or beginning of a show like the Royal Rumble. So, sticking to my guns, I'm picking AJ Styles because I don't want him to retire yet. But also, I just don't know. I don't like it. But I am predicting that Gunther will win. So, with that said, I hope we all have enjoyed AJ Styles. I'm probably going to spend like all week letting myself be worked and watch a bunch of AJ Styles matches. So, we may be headed to the very end of AJ Styles' legendary in-ring career. Up next, we just mentioned it, we got to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. I'm going to lay it out straight, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm picking Sami, and I'm predicting Drew. So, obviously, I called this. Everyone called this. You put Sami Zayn in a number one contenders match in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He's going to win it, especially when the title match is in Saudi Arabia. I mentioned this as well in a different video, probably the Saturday's main event, picks and predictions, that when you put these two shows in a row in the locations they're in, Canada and Saudi Arabia, you're going to give Sami everything, right? I don't think he's winning the title. I will always root for Sami Zayn in world title matches because I think he is severely underrated nowadays. A lot of people, it is everywhere, are suddenly against Sami winning because he's not big. That has never been an issue the entire time he's been in WWE. I don't know why 2026 appeared and everyone's like, fuck Sami Zayn. But it's really confusing because he's still an incredible wrestler. Do I think they may have missed the peak for Sami to be world champion? Yes, I do. I can't disagree with that. I think that the opportunity has been there for so long that now it's like, well, what's the point? Now, again, they built up this feud with Drew pretty well with Sami slapping him. That was fantastic. And the match is going to be great. It's in Saudi Arabia. Again, I'm picking Sami. Personally, in my heart of hearts, I want to see Sami win the big one. And I think if he doesn't win it in 2026 at some point, then we may be done. He may never win the world title. But this is a good opportunity for WWE to remind everybody, for Sami and Drew as well, to remind everybody how good Sami is. For all these, again, absolute numpties and weirdos that are suddenly talking about Sami's size. No one ever talked about Sami's size. I don't know where this is coming from. But I just think that Sami's time hasn't quite passed. But we are past that peak. Strike when the iron's hot. The iron was hot ages ago. However, if WWE wanted to do it, I wouldn't be against it. Now, I'm predicting Drew McIntyre because, one, even with Triple H in charge, I don't see him strapping up Sami Zayn at the Rumble. And two, because there is a rumor going around, and you can't believe all rumors, but this one seems pretty legit, that WWE really wants to do Drew, Cody, and Jacob most likely for the title. Why would you take the title off of Drew and then do that triple threat match? I mean, you could still. I've said it before, there's plenty of matches and rivalries and feuds and stuff that don't revolve around belts, right? Like the Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns idea that was floating around. I've been saying for ages, you don't need the belt for that. If you're going to have a trifecta of matches between those two at WrestleMania, one of them doesn't have to be for the belt. But I don't think that's the plan. I think the plan is to have Drew retain at the Rumble, and then we'll probably do that triple threat match at Chamber or Mania. I think they'll probably hold it off to WrestleMania. Like Cody and Jacob, neither one of them will win the Rumble, and then we'll have some sort of funkiness with the Chamber, and then we'll have the triple threat match at WrestleMania, but that's future. That's down the line. Either way, I see Drew walking into WrestleMania as the WWE champion, so he's not going to lose it on Saturday. I would be so hype if he did. As you can tell, I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan. But we'll see. It'll be a really good match. Sami will get this is what I said on social media recently on a post. Sami will get a monster pop. When his music hits, that place is going to erupt and hopefully not actually crumble to the ground. They built it in like 3 weeks. That doesn't sound safe. But anyway, that aside, they are going to pop big for him, but he's going to lose, and then we will go from there. So I'm picking Sami Zayn because it would be a nice moment, but I am predicting Drew McIntyre. And I think he walks all the way to WrestleMania as the WWE champion. I said World Heavyweight Champion. I apologize for that. But yes, the WWE Undisputed Championship, Drew McIntyre. And I'm going to leave the background alone for the last two matches. It is the men's and the women's Royal Rumble matches. This is going to be a lot, so bear with me. We're about 15 minutes into this video, and I'm going to talk a lot about both Rumbles. We're going to start with the women's, because I do believe that will likely kick off the show. That's what they've done the last few years. Women's Rumble first, everything else in between, men's Rumble last. So for the Women's Rumble, my pick and my prediction are exactly the same, and I haven't done that yet in this video, which is nice, but I am picking and predicting Liv Morgan. Now, I have a second prediction that we will talk about in a second. I'm picking Liv Morgan because her time is now. Sorry, John, you're not here anymore. She had an incredible 2024. She had an even better 2025. There is no reason not to strap the rocket to her boots and launch her into outer space. Have her win the Rumble. I promise you guys, I'm not trying to stutter this much. Have her win the Rumble. Have her win the belt. Do all these things. It just feels like the right time. I think it's felt like the right time for a couple of years. Like I said, 2024, 2025, she's been so good. She's had great moments, great matches, and the fans clearly love her. Her return was awesome. Everything she does with the Judgment Day, everything she's doing with Roxanne Perez. I was surprised she took the pin at Saturday Night's Main Event. I thought that would have been Roxanne. But yes, I think you should just give it to Liv Morgan. I think she's been like the runner-up twice, maybe even 3 times. She's been in the Final 4, Final 3 even, almost every time she's been in a Rumble. So it's been just an incredible career. It just feels like the right moment. I don't know who you put last. I have an idea of who you could. But let's just jump into it. I think another top contender to win the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble is Bianca Belair. It is reminiscent of exactly what they did last year, where Charlotte Flair came back. She wasn't a surprise. We all knew she was coming back. And she won the Rumble at her comeback. But what's wrong with that, right? John Cena did the same thing in 2008, the funniest Rumble ever. So I think that's another good prediction. I think that I'm okay with standing on that. I think that a lot of people want the Bianca Jade match. Jade's someone else who's getting unnecessary hate. It's not her fault. I think people are watching the storylines and the product and what she's been given, which isn't much. She's given nothing and told to go and turn it into gold. The Bianca Jade match will still be really good, no matter what the idiots on the internet are trying to say. So I think those are my 2 predictions to win the Women's Royal Rumble, are Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. I usually have a dark horse. I don't think I have much of a dark horse this year. I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head who could just surprise you and win the Rumble, which is good though, because Jey Uso was nowhere on anybody's list for the Men's Rumble last year. So we all know that even if we think Liv or Bianca might win the Rumble, we may be completely wrong. And I'm totally fine with that. I hope to see some good surprises. I can't think of who. I had some ideas, but for the women's, we all know who the surprises are. In my wrestling update video I did the other day, talking about all the crazy wrestling stuff that's happening, Saraya, formerly known as Paige, has been training, and she's been on independent dates using her WWE theme, which there's a whole lot of nonsense with that anyway. Doesn't mean she's coming back to WWE. It just means she might have the rights to that song. Or WWE at least doesn't have direct rights. But it'd be cool to see her back. She'd get another huge pop. It's Saudi Arabia. They're going to pop for basically everything. Saraya could come back. I don't see it happening. But it's okay. To the few people who think Sasha Banks is coming back, slap yourself, okay? Mercedes Moné hasn't actually left AEW. She's character taking a break because she's losing all the time. I don't want to get into AEW on this video, but it's the whole thing. Ever since she started being the belt collector, good, real, proper, smart, intelligent wrestling fans knew that this is exactly where that story was going. It was always going to come to an end where she failed a bunch, and that's where we are now. She hasn't left AEW. She's just working us. She's having a character break. But there could be other surprises. I can't tell you who they're going to be. I'd laugh if Michelle McCool was in it. Michelle McCool seems to always be a surprise in the Rumbles. I'm not against it whatsoever. I think there's anybody else that might be injured coming back. Naomi's not coming back. I saw somebody say, what if Naomi will be there? No. People do not know how babies work. I'd like to see Nikki Cross in it. That'd be cool. She isn't doing much in the Wyatt Six, and that bugs the hell out of me. She's one of my favorites. But I think I can leave it there for the Women's Rumble. It's nice to not know. It is nice to be a little more unsure this year. We were all pretty sure of the women's last year. We were pretty sure of the men's too, and we were way wrong. This year, both Rumbles feel open, while I do think more specifically Liv should win the women's. So my direct pick for the Women's Royal Rumble is Liv Morgan. My prediction is Liv or Bianca. I think either one could do. And with that, we're going to shift right over to the men's. This one, I've been very vocal about, just like with the women's. I think I've been more vocal about this since December when John Cena retired. Gunther should win the men's Royal Rumble. I think that Gunther needs to go on a tear. I know I just said he should lose to AJ Styles, but if he loses to AJ Styles and couldn't retire him, he could come back out in the Rumble, throw a bunch of people out, and win the Rumble and go after a world title and kind of forget about AJ. In which case, they're 1-1, and then my dreams will come true, and AJ Styles will go work with someone else for his retirement. Again, personal, don't actually care. That's my pick. My pick is Gunther. My predictions are all over the place because the betting odds, which I don't believe in, but they've been popping up all over my social media and my online news sites. But everyone's seeming to think that Roman Reigns is going to do the same thing Charlotte Flair did, and the same thing we're talking about Bianca Belair doing, showing up, even though he hasn't been on TV, and winning the Rumble. Now, he hasn't been out for injury. He's just been off TV. He's Roman Reigns. He's on a part-time schedule. The real-life Joe N.O.I.E. has earned this. He can do whatever the hell he wants. I do predict that could happen. I know that's a weird prediction, but it could happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Reigns showed up and won the Rumble. I don't know what he does. If Roman Reigns shows up and wins the Rumble, I'm going to assume that Cody's going to take back the belt and we're going to get that rematch at WrestleMania, but we don't have to, because we could do Roman and Drew as well. That'd be a huge match, and I know this is a long shot, but I don't care. Imagine we gave the belt to Jacob Fatu and we did Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. I'm just saying. I also think that prediction-wise, Gunther is a good shot. I think WWE knows what they have with this career killer gimmick. He could retire AJ Styles and win the Royal Rumble. Imagine that. Imagine Gunther goes on that kind of a tear. And then he can get his world title back at WrestleMania. Roman could win the Rumble and challenge CM Punk for all we know. I also saw that there is a new report that a bunch of people are saying that LA Knight, could also show up and win the Rumble. Totally fine with that. I'm not predicting it's going to happen. I do predict he'll show up at the Royal Rumble. I think it'd be a good place for him to return. He's been missing from TV. I think he will come back when the Vision is in the ring, like maybe Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Braun Breaker are in the ring just causing havoc, and then LA Knight can come back and probably throw some of them out. Bronson Reed, he's a big dude. I don't think LA Knight should throw him out by himself, but he should be a cause of him being thrown out. Another person I'd like to see was going to jump into surprises now is Obafemi. You know, Obafemi. Do the walk. I can't do it. I look like a fucking idiot. If I said it before, I'll say it again. If anybody else did that walk, we'd all look completely stupid. But Obafemi is the king of aura farming. I want him in the Rumble, and I want him to break the record. Simple. We'll leave it at that. I think he should eliminate half the field. I think he should eliminate 15 people. He should come out at like number 3 and go chuck, 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 chuck. Or we can do that thing we do where we fill the ring up, where it's like 8, 9, 10 people in the ring. Then Oba comes out and, again, chuck, 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 chuck. And he shouldn't rush. I don't care if the aisle is 2 miles long, which is long when you think about it. Obafemi should do that walk the entire way. Take the entire way. Take the entire time of the next entrant. I don't even care. I want Obafemi in the Rumble. LA Knight, obviously, I want to see badly. Adam Copeland is not going to be in it. I'm so tired of people thinking that Adam Copeland's going to show back up in WWE. He's still very much under AEW contract. This happened with the John Cena retirement tour. It was like, oh, Edge will come back. Don't worry. No, he won't. He's under contract somewhere else. Do you not know how contracts work? What am I doing with my hands? And the big one, right? Chris Jericho. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Everyone wants to see Chris Jericho in this. I think he will be in it. I hope that the idea that's floating around that the timer turns into the Jericho timer, you know, the countdown to the millennium, the 10-9, that's what it sounds like. Don't at me. I saw one suggestion. This might be my favorite. That the 10 to 6 is normal, but then when it goes to 5, all of a sudden switches to Jericho. You get the crowd going, oh my God, and then Pyro, Judas. I don't care if they want to use Break the Walls Down, but I think he should use Judas. That's just my opinion. What do I know? I think we should get some people from AAA in the Rumble as well. I think you should get Mr. Iguana. I think you should get Psycho Clown. I think you should get Omos. Omos would get a good pop. Everyone's a big, what is it, Omos sapien. I think you have potential to have a really fun men's Rumble. Something else that I said in a recent video was that I think the 2025 Royal Rumble, men's Royal Rumble, was the best men's Royal Rumble in at least a decade, maybe longer. When you look back 10 years ago at 2016, that wasn't good. 2017 wasn't good. 2018 was okay. I like 2018. 2019 was eh. 2020 was really good. I'll give 2020 a lot of props. But 2025, I still think, overshadowed every Rumble of the last 10 years, in my opinion. So the 2026 Royal Rumble, WWE is really going to have to hit a home run. And I think they will. They have a chance to have a lot of fun with this. They said surprises are hard because of the flights. Y'all can't, like, sneak some flights in there. You guys can't do, like, a 3 a.m. or a 2 a.m. flight for somebody out to Saudi Arabia where no one else is paying the fuck attention. Like, give me a break. And just for the record, no, I do not think Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be there. I mentioned last week, apparently there's rumors that WWE's in talks with him. Now everyone's erupting saying, oh, maybe he'll be at the Rumble. He won't. He definitely won't be in the Rumble. So I guess that's it for the men's Rumble. Like I said, I see a lot of potential for some big surprises. If WWE doesn't put at least Mr. Iguana in the Rumble, they gotta start using the talent from AAA elsewhere, right? And that's just my opinion. It's a lot like AEW and Ring of Honor. Like they have Dynamite and Collision and Ring of Honor. But sometimes you want people to know about those Ring of Honor stars. You got to bring them to Dynamite and Collision. That's exactly what happened with Bandito. And he became a huge star on the main roster of AEW. And the same goes for WWE with AAA and even NXT. AAA more so nowadays. You got Raw and SmackDown. You want to drag some of those guys from AAA to the main roster. Let them shine, let people know about them, put them in the Royal Rumble. I was about to end the video. Back to my predictions, though. I'm predicting that Roman Reigns, Gunther, I didn't say this, or Braun Breaker could win the Rumble. I didn't talk about Braun Breaker. That's on me. My bad. I got a little out of hand for a second. Talk about everything else. But I could see them putting the strap on Braun Breaker, have him even last eliminate Roman Reigns, and then have the rematch with CM Punk at Mania, and go ahead and give him the belt. I'm fine with that. So my predictions, Gunther, Roman Reigns, and Braun Breaker. My pick overall is Gunther. Like, he's my main pick. I want him to win the Rumble. I think it's the right thing to do. And I think you have him take the title from somebody at WrestleMania. Probably the WWE Championship. Go ahead and give him the big belt. Because you know WWE sees the belts universal world. I don't care. I still see them as equals. That's just me personally. But there you have it. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Who's going to win the Rumble? Who's going to show up? What's going to happen? Is AJ Styles going to retire? Am I a complete moron? Most likely. I will be here for the review on Sunday, but there's a chance, small, that I'm going to try to do the review on Saturday once the show is over. With the show being in the afternoon at like 1 or 2, I think it's at 2, it will be over around like dinner time here in Tennessee where I live. So I could finish the show, finish dinner, and then hop on here and do like an immediate review and reaction, which I think would be really cool. So yeah, we'll see about that. And until next time, this is JT Channel. I am JT, and I will see you in the next one.